Welcome to the Gulf Coast Research and Education Center, where Florida's finest agriculture scientists are working diligently to create the perfect tomato. Here, more than a dozen of UF-IFAS researchers and scientists work tirelessly to maintain and enhance the quality of Florida's natural resources and agriculture. The researchers, which specialize in different disciplines, work on a variety of ever-changing projects, from breeding new disease-tolerant fruit and vegetable varieties to developing new treatments to control weeds. For this video, we will be focusing on the Tomato Breeding and Genetics Program and what they are doing to improve tomatoes for consumers.
The University of Florida's Tomato Breeding and Genetics Program utilizes traditional breeding methods to develop the improved hybrids and breeding lines adapted to Florida, and to understand the genetic control of important traits. Each year, approximately 50,000 plants are evaluated and selected for advancing based on several characteristics, including yield, disease resistance, fruit size, quality, flavor, and color, among others. Dr. Hutton's research focuses on the development of improved tomato hybrids and parents adapted to Florida's subtropical conditions relevant to the Florida tomato industry. His program emphasizes genetic characterization of important traits and utilization of molecular tools to more efficiently advance these traits into commercial germplasm.
Tomato industry here in Florida is pretty big, and they've got a lot of cost and a lot of challenges to grow tomatoes, from rising production costs to fumigates and things that don't work quite as well as what they've had in the past. There's a lot of disease pressure here in Florida, so we're trying to breed tomatoes that would be higher yielding and have higher yields of marketable fruit and have this more reliably. So we're trying to breed in lots of disease resistances, so there's that insurance against infection with various diseases. We're trying to breed tomatoes that could be harvested more efficiently, so there's a lower production cost and harvesting cost as well. Trying to breed tomatoes that have more higher quality as well, whether that's color or flavor, and hopefully it would be more attractive to the consumer and provide a higher price and a better profit margin for the growers as well. To get things that we like into the hands of growers and then into the hands of consumers, we evaluate things over and over again. We don't want a variety that's going to look good once. We want things that are going to look good multiple seasons in a row. They're going to have consistency of yield. So we conduct trials here every year in the spring and the fall. We conduct trials in North Florida in the late spring and early fall relative to our seasons here. And we conduct trials in South Florida over the winter. And so when we start to see some of these varieties that are, or potential varieties, looking good, we'll evaluate them in broader trials. We'll put them in South Florida, we'll put them in North Florida, and if they continue to do well, we'll be testing them on grower fields as well. We'll expand the size of our research plots, and if they continue to do well, then growers might even be able to get a quarter acre or half an acre of these plots. And when a variety is performed well enough and consistently enough, we'll go through the process with our university to release that variety, to make it available to seed companies.
We also interview Dr. John Scott, who focuses his research on disease and insect resistance, tolerance to genetic disorders, and improving flavor and quality of tomatoes produced for the consumer.
I had another project with another very serious disease, tomato yellow leaf curl virus. Let's just say we started on that one about 1990. We now have some releases out, and we found a number of genes for resistance and things, but this comes from a very wild species, and it's taken a lot of time. So we're about, something close to 25 years into that project, we're just beginning to have some varietal success with that one. One of our big projects now is to develop a tomato that doesn't have to be staked and tied, and in fact can be harvested one time by a machine, and that would get around some of the labor issues. So we have to have things like good yield, good firmness in the tomatoes, lack of defects, high marketability, ability to produce tomatoes reliably, and ship the tomatoes. And in doing this, there's a lot of diseases and things that can happen to tomatoes here in Florida with our kind of subtropical climate, and so we work on a lot of disease resistance and these sorts of things. But it's basically to get better, improved tomatoes for the tomato industry in Florida. That's our primary charge.
The GC Rec facility is a place of continuous research, question, and answer for the agriculture community, and they are continuously innovating the future of agriculture.
Today we had the pleasure to learn how they genetically breed the perfect tomato and the process that is taken to get it from the farmer and the seed to the consumer in the kitchen. We hope you learned something from this video and appreciate the hard work put on here at the Gulf Coast Research and Education Center.